excited to introduce the wonderful Ella Balinska, who's joining us today. Hi, Ella. How are you?
Hello. How's it going?
It's going so good. The chat has been asking for you all morning long. We're so excited to have you joining us today.
So good to see you guys. You guys have been crushing it. I've been watching Neal play just now.
Seriously, I'm like, any notes?
No notes. You're doing great.
Oh, awesome. I'm just trying to make sure Frey looks good. That's the end goal.
Ella, the chat is just blowing up. They're so happy to see you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We do have a few questions we are hoping to chat with you about today, if that's all right.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
So
I'm pulling up the chat so I can see what everyone's all saying. Oh my God!
We're just so happy to have you here. What a treat. The voice actress of Frey, but also the motion capture actress. Ella, how did this role come about? What initially drew you to the role?
This is a great question. So basically, what happened was I have a really great team who are very supportive of all my hobbies, one of which is gaming. I'm sort of in my gamer little setup cave right now. And they heard about a new video game being developed and they were looking for a protagonist. And I kicked and screamed and I said, guys, get me in that room for that meeting. I met with the Luminous team and they were absolutely amazing. And they had some incredible concepts that there was no world in which I was saying no. And yeah, and then I went off and did a little screen test in San Diego, I believe.
Oh, nice.
At PlayStation HQ. And then here we are.
That's so wonderful.
I think nearly 3 years later. I think it's been a 3-year process.
So the whole process took about 3 years then, right? From when you started working on the project till now, finally the release.
Yes.
That's great.
It's just such a testament to like how much goes on behind the scenes with developing these games. It's unbelievable. It's crazy.
That's so fun.
And were there any influences or inspirations that you used to bring Frey to life in Forspoken?
Absolutely. I was a massive gamer. I still am. So I played the Tomb Raiders, I played the Final Fantasies, and
nice.
especially I primarily act in film, I wanted to bring that truth and authenticity to video games as well. As there are other people who have done it so well, I thought I'd lend my hand at it. So sort of bringing that really authentic, bold, unapologetic characterization that Frey has to the game, I think is something that's really exciting, and especially exciting in terms of representation too. Yes. So that's really exciting.
No, that's wonderful. That's actually a great transition to our next question, which actually several folks in the chat were also curious about as well. Can you talk a little bit about the performance capture process and how does that differ from your film and TV experiences?
Yeah, for sure. So it's really interesting, the performance capture process. The easiest reference I can give is, I don't know if anyone's seen the behind the scenes of Avatar and how that was made, but you're essentially in the full morph suit with all the dots on and a massive head mounted camera with, you had 3 cameras at the front. And you're basically performing in a volume, which is basically like a massive rectangle with loads of LED lights, red lights, which are sort of like capturing you moving in space. It's crazy. It feels very much like theater because you have to, there's no camera that you're performing towards like there would be in film and TV. So when you're doing a scene, you've got to essentially capture everything in one go. But that being said, it's then like filmed, because if you mess up, you can start again.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that at least, if something didn't quite work out, you didn't quite get it the way that you were hoping to get it, you can start over and try again. But you have to film the whole take in one take, right?
Yes, you do. And it means there's a lot of commitment from the whole cast, especially sort of the amount of tech that's going on that you're working
Sure.
with is just is phenomenal. So, you know, when you see those cutscenes, they really are us acting them out as if we're on stage giving the performance. It's really
That's
special.
incredible. That's awesome.
Now, going back to what you were talking about before about being a gamer, we're big gamers. Obviously, chat, they play a lot of games.
Yeah.
We want to know more about your background, your history with gaming. So kind of two-part question. One, how'd you get into gaming? And then two, what is your favorite game?
Ooh, big questions. This is when you say and you forget every single game that exists. So basically, I started getting into gaming. My mum used to go get her hair done, and I used to go downstairs and I used to play video games with the hairdresser's son. So his name is John Franco, and I have to shout him out. So he was the person who got me into gaming, essentially. And I was playing, I think it was on GameCube. That was my first console. And I was playing Smash Brothers, obviously, Super Mario Sunshine, the Sonics. So I used to love those. And then I really started getting into like Dragon Ball Z. I got into Tekken. If I ever want to win a bet, I play Tekken. That's my
oh, nice.
That's my go-to. But I had I was so lucky. I had you know, all the little portable gaming systems. So I had a Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, right the way through to PSP, Nintendo DS. Don't know how my Nintendogs are doing, but you know, that should be an interesting thing to find out. And then, now I'm in an amazing position where I actually have my own PC build, which is what I'm running this off right now. I'm running an AMD Red Devil on an all-white setup, which is pretty neat.
Nice, yeah.
Which I will say has dramatically improved the playing experience of my favorite game, which just so happens to be, I mean, this is where I should say Forspoken. It will be Forspoken eventually. But I actually just got sent this in the mail just now. But I think Call of Duty might be my game. I think that's
your game.
I think that's because the thing with that game is I'm able to speak with my friends in different time zones. We all just load in at the same time. So
trash talking is your thing. Getting on my...
Listen, it's more light-hearted banter, all right?
Sure. yeah, in the heat of the moment, right? It's totally fine.
You know, we're quite a funny little crew. We are one of my really good friends, Nick Galitzin, he's also a massive gamer, and we're sort of like the main duo in this little. He is easily the hard carry, by the way. So,
there's one in every group, right? Well, so
I'm never gonna hear the end of that.
No.
With that setup, with that rig and that game, I see a question in chat, which I had the same exact question.
Yeah.
Do you ever stream yourself playing games?
So I've always thought like, oh, what game do I want to start streaming with? I'm like, do I want to play? This thing is, I'd love to stream playing Call of Duty, but I don't know how much trouble I get in by playing that game. It's a risky one, but I think this might be the perfect one to play. I think I might do a couple of Twitch streams, more than a couple, of sort of trying my hand at Forspoken. I'm really, really excited to
So something for all of us to look forward to, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it too. Some of the OGs who might have been on, I did one Twitch stream before, and it was mainly like audio troubleshooting. So now that this is sorted out, I feel like it could actually be quite good.
Well, we've established that you're a gamer your whole life, basically. Mad respect for that. What is it like now having a video game character that's modeled after you? Because Frey looks like you know?
It's, I can't quite comprehend this yet. I had a moment last night where I got tagged in something on Instagram, and I had a look, and there's an amazing graphic of Frey Holland, like a Forspoken advertisement, essentially, in Times Square.
Yes.
And I don't know, I think, you know, I'll share a little something with the group, especially when I was younger. you know, I grew up as an only child, so I used to love gaming. It was like the way I'd sort of spend my time, and I absolutely loved it. And, you know, naturally, sometimes you can get like teased a little bit for being such a gamer or whatever, especially when I was younger, because, you know, it wasn't cool. Now it's really cool.
Sure.
And it's just one of those moments where you see that, and like, it's such an honor to be able to say I stayed completely true to myself and things that I love, and here's how it can end up.
Yeah.
I still can't quite believe this. Like, this is mental. I should open this. Should I not? Oh, I want to keep it like in the thing, but I need to play it, so we should probably do it. But it's just unbelievable, and I hope that other people who, you know, you don't have to even be in acting or, you know, in my industry. I hope it just inspires people to realize that, you know, by truly following your passion, something really crazy can happen.
I love that so much. That's so wonderful.
You've done such a wonderful job bringing Frey to life, obviously, not just through voice, but the motion capture as well. But I want to know, what's your favorite thing about Frey? She's got so much personality. What really stands out about her to you?
I absolutely love that she is so unapologetic. I think it's really easy to, you know, and this is a kudos to like the writers and the producers of the project. It's really easy to have a protagonist that just follows the rules, goes down the sort of natural trodden path, and I think she's sort of the she's the unexpected hero.
Yeah.
Almost. And that was something that really drew me to her character anyway, sort of throwing this what she thinks is an extremely ordinary girl into extraordinary circumstances, and seeing how she falls or flies. And I absolutely love that. I love that she has she swears more times. I think someone needs to, at some point, figure out how many times she swears in this video game.
Start a little counter, right?
that I'm sure there'll be like a ding, ding, ding sort of video that ends up coming up at one point. But yeah, no, I absolutely love that she also discovers herself in this journey. The slogan for the video game, I think, is Forspoken, is find your fight, and there's so much more meaning to just, you know, finding your physical fight with really cool parkour. But I think it also is to do with her character too, and the way she's sort of discovering herself and the things that she wants to stand up and fight for, which is really, really important.
That is such an inspiring answer, Ella. And I don't know if you noticed in the chat, a lot of folks were mentioning how inspiring that is, and your story and just everything that you've done. So seriously, thank you so much. I do kind of have maybe a fun, silly question, but do you have any highlights from making the game, or any stories, any memorable moments that you want to share with us in the process?
Yes, sure. Okay, so let's start with so remember I told you when we're shooting this thing, everything's in sort of like a rectangular space where we're being captured by cameras.
Yeah,
that means there is a lot of imagination involved. So 99% of apart from a couple of builds that they did, 99% of like the big sort of dragon moments, or the like really large enemy sort of fights, were my friend Alex holding a pole with a tennis ball on the end of it. So yeah, that was always a delight. And then also, I think when the wrap that we had once we'd sort of completed the shoot, we sort of, because it is like an enclosed space, we almost threw like a little party. It was great. It was we were all just there in our suits, just dancing around with our head cameras on, and I can't wait for everyone to meet the other characters that are in this game. I made some really, really amazing friends on this project, and yeah, we've had many a laugh.
I mean, I can only imagine so, right? If everyone's in these outfits with the, you know, the different motion sensors on you, you know, you kind of it tends to get a little silly naturally, right?
Let's see if I can pull something up super quickly for you guys. Anyone who wants a visual of
great.
exactly what the shooting process looks like. Right, let me turn on my do not disturb for a second. I'm getting so many notifications. Here we go. So this there, I don't know if you can see that along with my ring, the reflection of my ring light, but that is essentially the get up when you're shooting.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I haven't got all my dots on me there, but every day I think it was about 2 hours to get into full tech, with all the placement of the dots plus physical warm-up, and then after that, that's when we then can start shooting.
That's amazing.
It's a lot, but it's great fun. Where are we in the game now? I can't see the game.
So we are, as Frey is heading towards Tanta Sila to get her vengeance. You know, obviously, Frey is not too happy with what Tanta Sila did. So Frey's just now entered the depths of corruption in Preynost, and I've been taking some detours, finding some.
That's the fun part. That's the fun part. Listen, I've done all I think I know every single possible detour possible in this game because I've had to do the voiceover for it.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes we'd be there in the recording booth and I'd be like, oh no way, you can do that, that's it.
Well, speaking of what Frey can do, because there's a lot, I think it's, if you count all the different spells that she has access to, that's over 100. It's insane. Are there any that really stand out to you? Like if you could have just one of Frey's magical abilities, what would it be?
I mean, aside from hardcore parkour, I really love, I think it even shows in the trailer as well. There's this sort of ice move that she does. I don't know what it's physically called. I am yet to open this box and find out, but it's just so beautiful. And not only is it like a really cool move because she traverses in the air and there's amazing graphics to go with it, but also it's just like so impressive. It's so most powers that I think you get in games are you know, either just sort of point and shoot or because I know she starts off with a sort of earth based sort of shooting mechanism, and then she starts being able to develop, but when she develops it's like this really impressive magical moves that she's able to do. It's amazing. So I'd probably say that one.
good pick. That's one of mine.
Just for the showmanship. I don't know when I'd use it in life, but just to be able to be like, hey,
it's flashy. It's cool.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Listen, look at the gamer setup. All right, we've got the piano leaves, we've got the little, you know, we like a bit of
I love it. We have one more question for you, Ella, but real quick, I kind of want to sneak in another one more question, if I may, from the chat. They're noticing your instruments all throughout the room. Do you play?
Yeah, so I used to play the violin. Now it is decor. And then in the corner I do have ukuleles. I absolutely love playing the ukulele. I don't know, that's sort of like my instrument of choice. And then slightly further above, one of them is out on loan right now, but I do have DJ decks. I do dabble in DJing. It's a very fun hobby.
Fun. She's multi-talented. She can do it all.
I think next time we have Ella on, we'll have to have her do a rendition of Frey's theme on the ukulele.
We have to. I think so.
You know, I think I learned how to play one of those songs from the Legend of Zelda. But it took me like 3 weeks, so I don't expect a fast turnaround.
We'll be ready when you're ready for it.
Maybe by the time the DLC comes out.
Yeah, maybe when the DLC comes out. Yeah, we can aim for that.
I mean, fingers crossed on a DLC. You know what I'm saying?
So Ella, with today being the official launch for Forspoken, what are you most excited for the players to experience?
Ooh, I'd say I am most excited for the players to just have a really interactive sort of experience when they're playing the game. It feels really immersive, especially if you're playing on a PlayStation. You know, I don't know what the proper wording is for it. This is when I'm like, I'd pass over to Luminous tech team and they'd have the development team, and they'd have like all the explanations. But essentially, moves that you do in the game are reflected on your controller, and you just feel like you're in the world. It's what is it called, like tactile response or something like that? I can't remember. Yeah. Someone in the chat will be able to. By the way, someone's just said Gerudo Valley. Yes, it was Gerudo Valley. That was the song from Zelda. But it's really immersive, and also the ability to sort of jump between side quests, but also the main sort of campaign, the storyline. A lot of games sort of force you into only making one choice of going in one place, but there are so many different places to explore and adventure in Athia, which I think is really, really cool. And it's I think it's just therapeutic at some points too. Obviously, sometimes it's obviously not, but I think it's quite a therapeutic game to play.
I mean, I've personally been having a lot of fun exploring, as you were mentioning too. There's lots of sites to see, lots of different quests you can go along the way. So we've been having a lot of fun as well. Ella, thank you so much for your time this morning. Truly, it was an absolute pleasure.
I'd love to say hello to some people in the chat if I have.
Please do, and let us know where we can find you on social media if you have any to share.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can follow me at Ella Balinska all across all socials, Instagram, Twitch, anywhere else where I might have social media, but it's all Ella Balinska. Let's see who we've got on here. Oh my goodness, you guys are the best. You've been properly tuning in. Thank you. I am British. My accent. Yes. Right, let's have a look here. Have you spotted any ones in particular that have questions that have jumped out?
Well, everyone was asking about the instruments. That was like the hot item the second you appeared. They're like, she plays music. Oh my gosh, and I love that. I love that so much.
Yes, I do indeed. I'm looking up here as well at I've got here. I'll bring it out for you especially. So I have separate controllers. By the way, this is do you play Call of Duty? Can you tell? with the paddles at the back. But this is my little custom PlayStation 5 controller. Oh, wow. And I also have my little custom pink Nintendo Switch controller as well.
I love it.
So I play more than just instruments. Video games are definitely hot for me as well. Right, let's have a look.
I did see a question when you were showing the picture of you in the mocap setup. Someone was asking like what it feels like. Is it heavy? And I think that kind of like begs the question of how long does it take to get used to that and then act and do what you need to do?
That's a great question. So it's really weird at the beginning. I have to be honest. It's really strange. Not less so the suit. As when working in film and TV, I'm so used to sort of stepping into my costume in the morning and putting on the shoes of the character, and that's sort of how I really start transitioning into character. However, it's just sort of imagination. So it's because you got this suit on, and then the headset itself, it's crazy because it's connected around your waist by a Velcro belt with a massive battery pack on it, which then feeds with wires up to the top of your head with this sort of helmet that gets put on that you have to adjust, which then has these two things that stick out with the cameras here on the end. And they're perfectly calibrated in the morning to all the dots that are put on your face. The things that are strange with this, here are the problems that poses. So if you want to be really close face to face with someone, you can't, because you're going to smash cameras.
Oh.
So a lot of it's incredible how the team are able to do it. But essentially, if you want to do like a really intense close face-to-face thing, you essentially have to sort of offset so that you're like this, and then in post, they'll move you to be facing each other. And then, of course, because there are cameras in your face, you can't touch your face.
That's true, yeah.
You can't, because it will block your performance. So if you ever sort of, if I'm drinking water or anything here, instead of doing it like this, I've got to do it on the side, and then they'll move it in post to be in front of my face. Our director, Tom Keegan, did an incredible job of sort of teaching us the ropes with that one and catching us out whenever we slipped up a little bit. But that was definitely an interesting experience.
I can only imagine. I feel like I would accidentally keep trying to touch my face or like do something inherently that would hit one of the, you know, the devices.
Trust me, it happens all the time. It's only naturally you end up, but the tech team will then come in and they'll recalibrate everything. It's really intricate. Honestly, I wish this is where I go, hey, Square Enix team that are listening to this Twitch, I think they should put out some approved behind the scenes footage, because I think people are really interested in seeing how it all comes together.
Definitely, yeah. We've seen a bunch of questions in chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of questions in chat, I've seen quite a few people also ask about your accent, specifically the accent that you use in the game.
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit? Is there anything you use to try to get into that voice, into that mindset? Sure. And can we get a sample?
Ooh.
Can we get a sample?
A sample.
Oh, so basically, the character Frey, she is a New Yorker. She is an orphan. She doesn't have any parents, and the idea that I kind of wanted to portray with that is that she, first of all, her attitude is very, it's very blunt and direct and sort of go get him. This is what I got to do, which I think is very on track with New Yorkers at heart in the best way possible. And on top of that, there's this idea that she's met so many different people. She's such a chameleon in terms of meeting, you know, trying to sort of finesse things here and there to make her life comfortable for herself in a way that, you know, she doesn't really have the means to live a comfortable life. So she's met so many people. Her accent's almost a little bit chameleonish. I didn't want it to seem like she only lives in this part of New York and that's all she does. She's been here, she's been there. And then on top of that, to get there, I've spent a little bit of time in New York, so I have a little idea of the of the sort of the attitudes, which I wanted to incorporate. In terms of a line to do, I mean, which line would it have to be? I think there was a line from the initial teaser, which was the dragon line. I don't know if anyone in chat remembers that one.
Oh yes, yep.
Was that? Let's see if anybody remembers it, and then I can see if I should do it. But it was in one of the really early previews of the game, where she's talking with Cuff, and then a dragon appears, and she's essentially like, "Is that a motherfucking dragon?"
The perfect response, honestly, in that type of situation, right?
Exactly. I'd say the exact same thing with my own accent.
Well, Ella, unfortunately, we do have to let you go. I wish we could stay all day and chat with you. This has been such a treat and such a delight. Thank you for taking our questions. Thank you for taking the chat's questions. Truly, congratulations on the game. It's such an exciting day for you. We're so happy to have you with us. Thank
you so much. It's honestly, it's like I say, an honor to be able to be here with you guys here. I'm looking at this chat. It's absolutely popping. Thank you for tuning in to see me, and also take this moment to say just a massive shout out to the development team at Square Enix, at Luminous Productions, especially the gang over at PlayStation 2 as well. They're just awesome. And yeah, my team as well, just for getting me involved, because I know I love gaming. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, and I can't wait to see how far I'm gonna be still watching this after I'm off.
Oh,
FYI.
excellent.
So I'm
just
keeping
in time
a close eye on this.
our grand prize giveaway. So maybe we'll have you there for that. Thank you so much, Ella. We'll chat soon.
Thank you, Ella.
See you guys. Bye.
See you, Ella.